This build off here means a lot to my younger brother and myself. We're here to redeem ourselves. We're not here to build some pesky, measly birdhouse that's going to fall apart, that doesn't have a floor or a wacky paint job. Can we get this job done, or whose is going to blow up? I head out on this cold morning to pick up my younger brother Kevin and my dad. We head off to Home Depot. Within this challenge, we have a $50 spending limit at Home Depot to get whatever items we like. While we're shopping through there, my younger brother Kevin's like, I need a 8-foot by 10-foot birdhouse. I said, bro, you're not building a hotel. So he ends up putting a couple pieces of lumber back, and then we head back home to start the challenge. I brought over all my tools, and we can use anything in the shop to assemble the pieces together. But with my younger brother not having a lot of experience, instead of having an hour to cut all the lumber and assemble everything, last thing I want to do is have somebody lose a finger or hand. I cut down everybody's pieces on the table saw, and then they used the miter saw to piece their pieces together, and they drew out their plans and cut their pieces to length, and hopefully they did it right. If not, it's going to crumble and fail. And I know my younger brother said, who needs to use a speed square when you can just guess it? So how do you feel about the redemption build going on today?
I feel pretty good. I'm here to prove all the naysayers that have been claiming that terrible birdhouse out there was mine.
There's no floor to that birdhouse, so is there going to be a floor for this one today?
As you can see over here, I will have a floor to this birdhouse. Right here is going to be my base. We've got the gable ends, and then we've got the sheer walls with the roof. Roof's going to be detachable, so that way you can take those nests out.
Man, really using the engineering terms here. Let's see if you can execute. We knew you'd draw up a good design. It's a basic one, but nonetheless, I believe, it's going to come down to execution for you. So in a moment, we're going to get started, and let's see how you can execute.
You gonna sit here and record the whole time? Buddy, how do you turn this on?
Oh, he doesn't even know how to turn on the sander. The execution is how we're about to struggle.
There it is.
As you can see, Kevin's starting off by sanding down all his wood, but you can see rushing with only having an hour limit, he does miss some spots which could come back and haunt him on the staining. With the start of the challenge, my dad takes a different approach. He organizes all his pieces together to make sure they can stack the walls nice and organized. After he has the proper alignment of his pieces, he starts to glue up and puts the sides together. With only having an hour to build, he's using the nail gun now to give that extra strength to the walls. Plus, the glue just doesn't have enough time to dry correctly. Being in a cold shop with being about 10 degrees inside there and have a couple space heaters running, it's just not enough to have that glue dry. Plus, you can see the outside of the walls. You can see that glue residue, which could come back and haunt him in this challenge on not getting a correct stain finish. Off this challenge, my strategy is going to be organization. With only having an hour, I've got to be able to have all my pieces assembled correctly in a timed fashion, make sure it flows correctly. So I start by assembling the fake grass for the top of the roof. I know that's going to take a while to glue, being felt and not ever dealing with it before. I don't know how long it's going to take. So I add extra glue on the bottom, and then I start to try to clamp it together just to realize it's not going to hold enough pressure. So then I flip everything upside down and put weight on it to hopefully hold it a little bit better. Next step I use is my Bessie clamp, which if you don't have one in the shop, I totally recommend it. It makes 90-degree joints so much easier to put together. I just use the quick nail gun to make this process quick because I know I need to get to sanding, make sure I can try to get a smooth finish. So I'm rushing, and I definitely feel the pressure at this point in time, even though I'm a few minutes in. Now I start the sanding process. As you can see, I pre-squiggled lines on there just so I can try to get a consistent, smooth sanding so the stain will look a little bit more even and flush when I get to that point in time. Within the budget, I end up going with 2 stains that are going to be weather resistant for the outdoors. I use a black stain for the base of the house. I'm going for a more of a modern look house, probably within the the 2020s, that futuristic type look almost. So I start with the black base, and then eventually I'm going to follow up with a brown for the accents and fencing. But you'll see further on what I'm going for. Now we're back with Kevin here as he's staining the roof of his building, and then it's time to start assembling everything by nailing it together. He was learning how to use the nail gun and using the clamps to make sure that he can make it efficient. And you can see his breath. It is cold in this garage, and it's definitely possible to make mistakes because you're just freezing, you're rushing against the time. But overall, he's not doing a bad job. As you can see, he's definitely getting the hang of everything. It's coming along pretty good. I can't wait to see the finished look. As at this point in time with his build, let me know down in the comment section below if you think his birdhouse actually got stolen or if he just improved his skills over time. You can see he's shooting in the roof with the nail gun, and then he's going to use on the backside some screws so you can take the roof off so you can clean out the bird's nest so you can have birds come through the next year. But let me know how this traditional birdhouse turned out in the comment section below. Now we're back with my dad as he's getting ready to assemble the roof on the final touches before he starts the stains. But with him rushing the sanding process earlier and getting that glue all over the place and not only having an hour, you're going to tell it's going to affect his staining here at the end. For having a complicated build and only having an hour to put everything together, this build turned out pretty well. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would build something like this. At this point in time, I feel like I'm on that game show that's like screaming 10 minutes left because I'm like, oh crap, I don't even have anything put together. Definitely one of those last minute type of people, like it's a school project out here. But by doing that, I end up shooting a nail through the side of the wall, dropping the property value. I end up messing up the roof. I struggle to get that pulled apart. And then by just rushing and not having enough time and thinking that I planned well, couldn't plant the grass. Now the birds can't play cornhole. And when they try to eat their bird seeds out of the side by that food trough, they're just going to be angry and say, I'm moving out of this dump. Get the safety glasses ready because one of these birdhouses is about to get blown up to smithereen. Let me know down below which birdhouse you would destroy or if you would keep all of them. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below on who you think won this $50 birdhouse build-off challenge.